hit some anytime goal scorers as well as safe shots on goal for some of these goalies. Give me both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at plus 185 compared to the over 1.5 that is at minus 120. Okay, you guys ready? Let's make some freaking money. It's time for Pocket with Joe. Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It's time for Pocket with Joe. Over here on YouTube, I want to welcome everyone to the show. Now, we made some freaking money yesterday. Hopefully, you guys played some of those player props, those first period props, overall winners. It was a great day. Heavy slate yesterday, which brings us to a small slate today. It's kind of why I'm kicking off a little bit early here. I was ready and I was willing and wanting to just get this show out nice and early to you guys so you can jump on these lines. So when we look at today's schedule, we've got 3 games out there. We have the Minnesota Wild taking on the New Jersey Devils, the Detroit Red Wings taking on the Buffalo Sabres, and the Montreal Canadiens versus the Calgary Flames. So 3 games, plenty of opportunity to make some money, though, you guys. We're going to be looking at one dog in this game that I think can win it straight up. We're going to be looking at some first period props. We're going to be looking at some totals. We're going to be looking at some player props as well. So let's jump into the show. And again, apologies for not the regular time, but hopefully you guys, if you're watching this on repeat, will be able to jump in below the show and let me know still what you're betting today. So good morning, Matt. It's great to see you here. Let's make some freaking money. So we're going to start off with the first game. The Minnesota Wild are in action taking on the New Jersey Devils. Now, the Devils last night, they got a nice win over the Toronto Maple Leafs. They were able to get that 5-2 win. They were out on the road. Now they've had to come back home. Not a strong suit for this New Jersey Devils team. They're minus 134 on the money line, and I could not touch that with a 10-foot pole. For me, it's the dog or the pass in this one, and this is the dog of the day that I do think is barking at plus 112. The Minnesota Wild have every ability. Now, I know there are inconsistencies thus far on the ice on the season, but I do think with that elite power play that they have, it's clicking right around that 34% mark, you guys. We will see Kaprizov, Boldy find the back of the net. You've got the New Jersey Devils on the second night of a back-to-back with their third string goaltender in net. We know Jacob Markstrom went out with injury. Jake Allen played last night. We will see Nico Daws coming into this lineup. So with Nico Daws coming in, he did play 6 games last season, but it's such a limited size. You guys, you're going to see those stats on him all day long. People saying, take a chance on the home dog here. Well, not the home dog. You got to lay juice, but take a chance on a third string goaltender here with a 1.60 goals against average last season, 939 save percentage. There's no way I can do it. When we look at the Minnesota Wild and the odds on them, they're plus 112. This is kind of floating around. So go on over to Odds Logic, shop those lines over there. It's between plus 112. I've seen it as high as plus 118 and then as low as plus 110. So definitely shop those odds on that money line. Plus 112 is what the majority of the books are sitting at. Now, this total sitting at 5.5. It is juiced to that over at minus 134 and plus 110 to the under. I do think the Minnesota Wild need Gustafsson to play at his best in this one. Gustafsson against the Devils in his career. Well, the last 3 meetings. Let's just look at the last 3 meeting numbers. Going 0-2-1 with the 8.79 goals against average, a 3.42 goals against average. He can't allow as many goals in. Now, overall in the season, those numbers aren't pretty for Gustafsson as of yet. I'm waiting for him to get his feet under him and for this defense to really get better in front of him. The defense is allowing an average of 29.6 shots on goal. They're going to need to lock in. Their kill needs to step up as well. Their kill's only 72.2%. Now, we've got a strong power play here for the Devils, except the power play here for the Wild is insane. 34.5%, best overall in the league. If they can draw those penalties, get that one-man advantage, you're going to see the Wild score. Now, the kill here is strong for the Devils, but on the second night of the back-to-back, it's such a disadvantage. The Devils went 3-8-1 on no days rest last season, and they are on a third string goalie. So the Devils have lost each of their last 4 games at home on the second night of a back-to-back as a favorite. Not a strong suit for them here. The trends are pointing against them. They failed to cover the puck line at home on the second night of a back-to-back too in their last, I believe it's 6 of those. So I'm going to take the Minnesota Wild. I already got them at plus 114 again. Shop those lines are moving out there. I think this is one though where if you don't like just the money line, you want to go big or go home. The alt puck line laying 1.5 goals. I think people are too undervaluing the Minnesota Wild going into this. And now I know this is their 5th straight road game. They're trying to overcome their struggles they've had. They've lost 3 of their last 4. They did get the win over the Rangers, but that was a struggling Rangers team as well. Kaprizov, Matt Boldy, we know that the depth of the scoring just hasn't been there yet for the Wild, but I'm looking for them to combat that today. I'm looking for them to step up. I think they win this 5-3. I wouldn't hate an alt reverse puck line here, laying 1.5 for the Minnesota Wild. I know it seems crazy, right? But you look at Kaprizov, he leads the Wild with 5 goals and 5 assists, total of 10 points. I'd look at Kaprizov to convert on the power play, those power play points tonight. When we're looking at the other side, Jack Hughes got a hattie last night versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. We know how strong he is. 4-game point streak. Total of 8 points in the last 4 games. He's been able to get those points on the board. 6 goals in the last 3. So the hattie last night. So Jasper Bratt also has at least 1 point in every single game thus far this season, leading the team with 7 assists. So lots of playmakers out there for you to look at between these two teams. Again, I think 5-3. So that gives you an over. It gives you the Minnesota Wild there winning and covering a reverse puck line. Let's move on to the Detroit Red Wings taking on the Buffalo Sabres. The Buffalo Sabres, this line is floating around from a favorite to a dog roll. The Detroit Red Wings, I understand why people want to put money in on the Red Wings. They're minus 114. This team has been solid, and we're talking solid on both ends of the ice. Total is sitting at 6.5. It's minus 130 to the under 6.5, plus 106 to the over. I can't take this one over the total. I do think we have a lower scoring game in this matchup. The under 6.5, though, minus 130. I don't think it's worth putting your money there. This is the battle of the Atlantic, you guys. We have the Detroit Red Wings looking to start John Gibson. Cam Talbot has been brilliant on the season, but John Gibson is the expected goaltender. Gibson is 2-1 with a 2.98 goals against average and an 873 save percentage. Alex Leon is expected here for the Buffalo Sabres. Now, I think this gives them an edge in net if they're versing John Gibson. Alex Leon, and make sure when you're watching this video, go check those goaltending matchups. If it's Cam Talbot could absolutely freaking steal the show. 3-0 in the season with a 1.78, but John Gibson doesn't give me the faith that Detroit can get things done, and only their second road start here of the season. They have won that 1 game out on the road, but this is only their second road start. And we look at their numbers last season. On the road last season, Detroit wasn't that great, 17, 19, and 5. So that brings me to Alex Leon and what he's able to do at home. Overall on the season, we're looking at a 924 save percentage, solid number, 2.55 goals against average. It's respectable, right? But then we look at him at home and what he's able to do. Last 4 home games, he's gone to a 928 save percentage this season. So 4 games at home, 928 save percentage. In his career, he owns a 912 save percentage on home ice. He is solid on home ice, you guys. He can steal the home team the win here in Buffalo. We look at the Buffalo Sabres. They're off a Monday loss to the Montreal Canadiens. The Montreal Canadiens won that one 4-2 with 3 goals in the third period to pull away and get the win. So Buffalo, consistency, full 60 minutes is absolutely needed. The look-ahead situation for the Buffalo Sabres is they do have the Toronto Maple Leafs on deck on Friday on the road, and then, at home on Friday and then on the road on Saturday. So the look ahead of the back-to-back versus the Leafs. When we look at what we're seeing out of the Detroit Red Wings, this is the first night of a back-to-back. They will face the New York Islanders tomorrow. Then they'll be home versus the Blues on Saturday and then at the Blues on Tuesday. So they do have the Islanders, Blues. Those are their look ahead situations. Now the face-off is strong here for the Red Wings, 52.4%. I do think it's just a bad spot. Battle of the Atlantic. You're going to see Buffalo, they're 6th in the Atlantic, really step up for this matchup. This is one that they have circled. The Detroit Red Wings are sitting first. I'm going to look at the Buffalo Sabres, and I love this for you guys. I got the Buffalo Sabres at -113. The Detroit Red Wings have moved back into that favorite role. They're -114. Buffalo's -105. You got to love a home dog here in the Buffalo Sabres to get things done. They've won their last 4 as a favorite, and I know the Red Wings are more consistent here on both ends of the ice, and they've played against tougher teams, but I think Buffalo really steps up in this one and gets it done. Give me Buffalo, give me the under 6.5, and then give me the first period under 1.5 goals at +108. It's a dangerous bet here. We know these offenses are absolutely killing it out there on the ice, but I do think that this one for Buffalo to get the win, Alex Leon stands on his head. The consistency of the scoring hasn't been great for the Buffalo Sabres, so they will need defense to win this game. They're only averaging 2.5 goals per game, 29.5 shots on goal, and John Gibson doesn't have terrible numbers, but I do think Alex Leon will steal this for them. The kill for Buffalo has been hot as well. No total confirmations on Gibson, so wait on this. As soon as Gibson gets fully confirmed, and not Cam Talbot, because Cam Talbot can steal the Red Wings this game. Cam Talbot has been phenomenal in his starts this far. He's yet to lose a start, and I'm just seeing if we're getting any confirmation. Yet to lose any of his starts out there. Gibson is confirmed. This is good. Gibson's confirmed. Take the Buffalo Sabres now. Before that line moves, Gibson is 100% in. Players to look at, though. If you think the Red Wings are going to win, don't play around. Just take Dylan Larkin. Dylan Larkin for 2+ points is a killer bet. He's had 34 games versus Buffalo, 34 points in those games, 19 goals, 15 assists. He was able to get 2 points in the last game, and he's just been rolling hot this season. 5 goals, 6 assists. He's shooting 25% of the time, 11 points in total, averaging 3.3 shots on goal per game. So Dylan Larkin has been fire. If you think the Red Wings are winning, Dylan Larkin has to be involved in that win. Alex DeBrincat as well. He's averaging a point per game. 0 goals yet for DeBrincat, but 6 assists. On the other side, you look at this Buffalo team, and I do think this is going to be a lower scoring one. So I'm not going to be playing a lot of props in this, you guys. But it's Tage Thompson. Tage Thompson does drive this offense out there. You look at Tage Thompson and then Alex Tuch. Those would be your playmakers. Jason Zucker as well. But there are talented players, and Zach Benson. Zach Benson has been strong this season, you guys. You look at Zach Benson, and he is one of the top contributors on this team. 6 points already. He has 0 goals and 6 assists. So there's playmakers across, but Alex Leon is going to steal this one. Let's see if we got any goalie props, because that's where I want to go. Alex Leon saves shots on goal, and this is maybe why we do not have Alex Leon in net. You guys, this is not good. We have Colton Ellis coming in 2 goal tonight for the Buffalo Sabres. Man, why do they do this to us? Ellis is slated to face Detroit tonight. Okay, this is just announced 15 minutes ago that Ellis will be in between the pipes. This will be his first start here for Buffalo and of his career. He was claimed by the Buffalo Sabres on October 6th. Okay, so he's joining the organization. He's just coming in, you guys. Ooh, let's see what stats we can get on him in the AHL. So he's a 25-year-old. He's got a 2.63 goals against average, a 922 save percentage in the AHL. 42 games under his belt. AHL Springfield in 2024, 2025. Wow. Okay, with Ellis is starting his NHL career with a very tough assignment. Screw it, you guys. I'm going to take Ellis over 23.5 save shots on goal. The Buffalo Sabres better give him freaking support. This is going to be a huge, huge, huge sprinkle on a goaltender that is yet to make a start. But Nico Dawes, what? 6 starts only last season for the New Jersey Devils. I'm going to take a chance on this Colton Ellis kid to come out strong. Again, 2.63 goals against average, a 922 save percentage, making his NHL debut. Give me this freaking kid to stand on his head tonight. He has every ability to. It's going to be a tough one here for the Buffalo Sabres, but that is where we're going to go. Okay. Hands up if you have faith. It's gonna be a hard one, you guys. We're gonna move on to the next game, and I did build some graphics for this next game. This is a good thing when you have extra time in the morning. The Montreal Canadiens taking on the Calgary Flames. My Calgary Flames in action versus a red hot Montreal team, but Montreal has Edmonton on deck tomorrow. Will the Montreal Canadiens be in a look ahead to face the Edmonton Oilers tomorrow? The battle of going from one Alberta team to another Alberta team is real. It's hard for these teams to do so. Montreal's entering this game as rightly the favorite at minus 126. Calgary at plus 105 and a total of 5.5. Very, very shocked that Montreal isn't a bigger favorite in this. What do the books know? Well, Sam Montague is expected in this one, and I'm just double checking that because we are seeing things change rapidly this morning. Sam Montague expected. Dustin Wolf is confirmed. Dustin Wolf has not looked like Dustin Wolf of last season. He's got a 3.91 goals against average and an 867 save percentage. Now, Calgary in that last game versus the Winnipeg Jets actually played better than I expected. If this team could play a full 60 minutes, they might have been able to get the win versus the Winnipeg Jets, but let it go in the third. Montreal Canadiens is no denying how hot this offense is looking. They're averaging 3.57 goals per game, 26.1 shots on goal. Their power play is only a 17.4% conversion rate, so not that great, but a strong face-off, winning 50.9% of those face-offs. They are tied for the lead in points in the Eastern Conference. They're playing hot early in the season. They're allowing only 25 shots on goal. Their kill 73.7%, so weaker kill. But they are only allowing that 2.86 goals per game. Now, when we look at these two teams head to head, Calgary has won the last 4 meetings versus the Montreal Canadiens, but this Canadiens team has the deeper lineup up front and the stronger blue line for sure. This team is clicking right now, and Calgary's lost their last 6. They got the win over Edmonton, and then they've just stumbled that last game to the Winnipeg Jets. Like I said, playing a full 60 minutes is vital here for the Calgary Flames, and we're just not seeing it. They held the lead going into the third and end up losing that one 2-1. They have yet to get a home win. They're sitting 0-3 at home. My Calgary Flames are absolutely suffering, and they're suffering because of the lack of offensive production, more so than in net. Like Dustin Wolf, yeah, he doesn't have great numbers, but they should be getting support offensively, averaging only 1.57 goals per game, worst overall in the league, 25.4 shots on goal, and that power play only converting at 14.8%. The offenses need to step up here, and they are getting the support by defenseman Rasmus Andersson. Rasmus Andersson has been firing that freaking puck, you guys. Now, the Canadiens with Montreal on deck, I do think it's going to be a hard spot for them. Should they win, if how Calgary's been playing, they absolutely could win. So I'm liking some player props in this one, you guys. And there's a couple players you want to look at. See, I told you I built some graphics today, and I'd love to be able to do this for every single game. It's just very time consuming to build these graphics, you guys. So looking at the players that you want to watch tonight in this matchup between the Montreal Canadiens and the Calgary Flames. And let me know if these graphics help at all, you guys. We have Nick Suzuki rolling in with 8 points. The center, number 14 out here for the Montreal Canadiens. Kyle Caulfield with 5 goals thus far this season. And Nick Suzuki with 7 assists. So that is where you're looking for your top players. It's Nick Suzuki and Kyle Caulfield for the Montreal Canadiens. You know we've been parlaying them together. Look at that parlay price. We've lost the value, guys. Nick Suzuki and Kyle Caulfield were giving us plus money at the start of the season. The books have adjusted because of what we're seeing, and now it's only minus 124. Now, if you add Slaznikov, who is on the top line with Nick Suzuki and Kyle Caulfield, to that player point parlay, the goals will be coming against the Calgary Flames from what we have seen, right? So if all 3 of them are getting a point, it's coming in at plus 174. You could just do Suzuki and Caulfield at minus 124, or take the shot on Slaznikov, Slazkovsky to get the point. I cannot remember how to say his name for the life of me. To get a point with Suzuki and Caulfield, it's coming out plus 174. I think it's a great way to go. When we look at the other side here for Calgary, Nazem Kadri at home has been a playmaker. He is yet to record a goal here at home or on the season, you guys. He's been rolling hot with those assists. He's been getting the assists. 4 points thus far. I do think Kadri comes out and gets the goal. He's plus 195 for a goal here tonight. He needs to really step up. Now, when we look at the defenseman, Rasmus Anderson, I do think you got to look at him for the point. Rasmus Anderson for the point tonight is plus 168. This is a great spot to be because you look at how much he is firing that puck. He's firing that puck from the blue line. He's getting into situations where he is getting that rush and he is taking his shots. 6 shots in that last game versus the Winnipeg Jets on goal, 10 attempts. So I do think Rasmus Anderson has every ability to come out strong. Now, there's one other playmaker you want to look at here for the Calgary Flames, and that's Jonathan Huberdeau. Jonathan Huberdeau for the goal, coming in at plus 240. Jonathan Huberdeau has only played 2 games. In the game versus the Winnipeg Jets, we did not see him be able to produce any points. But in that first game out versus Vegas, he was able to score that lone goal for the Calgary Flames. Those shots on goal need to come out of him in this game. I do think because his time is starting to tick up. We saw just over 18 minutes, under 19 in that first game versus Vegas, and then ticking up to that 20-minute mark in that last game versus the Winnipeg Jets. I expect between 20 and 25 minutes in this game for Jonathan Huberdeau, and his ability to score that goal, I do think, is there. At plus 240 for Jonathan Huberdeau to score a goal, I will absolutely take it. So looking at this game, I'm going to take Jonathan Huberdeau for the goal at plus 240. I'm also going to take a shot on Nazem Kadri for the goal at plus 195. Rasmus Anderson for the point at plus 168. And then I will parlay Suzuki, Caulfield, and Slesnikoski there for the player point parlay, coming in at plus 174. I do think we're going to get goals in this game, you guys, and I think it will be that higher scoring one. So looking at that total, we've got a total of 5.5 minus 128 to the over. We know that Calgary and Montreal loves to get up first in that first period, and Calgary is either come out hot or play to get the comeback, right? This is a team that gets in those situations. But I think in this one, you look at that first period over. I expect the goals to come quickly in the first period. Over 1.5 goals in the first period is minus 126. Montreal in the first period has been a solid bet for us on the puck line, but I'm expecting Calgary to really step up right away, straight out of the gate. So I would like to see both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at plus 168. I think this one starts off hot. Can Calgary play a full 60 minutes? Maybe, maybe not. And Montreal could take advantage, but I do think it's a scary thing with Montreal with Edmonton on deck tomorrow. I'm looking for Calgary to put up a fighting chance at least to start this one. So both teams to score in the first period, the over 1.5, the over for the game. And then if you're looking at one other player for Montreal, Lane Hudson has been solid out here. I do like Lane Hudson for his point, the defenseman out here for the Montreal Canadiens. The problem is he's minus 162. 2+ points for Lane Hudson is asking a lot. It is a minus or a plus 320 for that. It's a lot of points to ask. Good morning, Irish King. Good morning to each and every one of you. Suzuki and Caulfield, 1+ point. Red Wings Sabres, both to score 2 goals, and the Devils and the Wild, 2 goals plus 298. I love it. I love it. All the best in that long shot parlay there. And I don't think it's much of a long shot. I think you're going to be able to cash that nicely like you're able to cash the other one the other night. So let's get into the recap, you guys. I have to fly here. We're sitting here at the 23-minute mark. Recap time. The Minnesota Wild and the New Jersey Devils. Give me the Wild here to pull off the win. I think they win this. Money line, you're getting plus money at plus 114. Win at 5-3 style game. So I do believe this one goes over the total. If you're looking to do a reverse puck line, if you have the faith in the Minnesota Wild to convert on that power play, Kaprizov and Boldy to come out strong. Reverse puck line, lay 1.5 here with the Minnesota Wild. I do not trust the New Jersey Devils on the second night of a back-to-back with their third string goaltender in. When we look at the Detroit Red Wings versus the Buffalo Sabres, we do not have Alex Leon in tonight for the Buffalo Sabres, which I was going to think it was going to be a moneymaker here versus John Gibson. We do have Ellis, a new kid from the AHL making his NHL debut. I'm going to count on this kid to stand on his freaking head. I do think Buffalo can get the win. I'm worried about that total now, you guys, so I'm going to stay off it. I'll take a chance on the Buffalo Sabres slight home dog. If you just want to roll with the Red Wings, I understand where you're going. Dylan Larkin for the 2+ points. He's been phenomenal versus Buffalo. On the other side, I'd look at Benson and Tage Thompson for the Sabres. The Montreal Canadiens and the Calgary Flames. I think this one starts off hot and fast. Give me both teams to score in the first period at +162. The over 1.5 goals in the first period at -126. And then we're looking at the player props in this one. We're going to look for Suzuki, Caulfield, and Slavkovsky for a point parlayed at +174. If you just want to do Suzuki and Caulfield parlayed for the points -124, I'm going to look at Nazem Kadri for the goal at +195 to finally net a goal here on the season. Rasmus Anderson for the point. He's been firing from that blue line at +168. And then give me Huberdeau for the goal tonight. Huberdeau to come in at +240 for the anytime goal for the Calgary Flames. And it's funny because I did try to shop these lines and look at a Calgary Flames team total. You had to take over 3.5 before you got any value. So that's telling me that they are really believing Calgary is going to get 3 goals in this game. I could see this being that high scoring win for the Montreal Canadiens, but it could also go to Calgary because Montreal has Edmonton on deck. Be very careful with teams facing a team that is 1-6 on the season. And then they have a strong opponent that went to the Stanley Cup Finals last year, the year before, on deck the next day. It's a terrible spot for the Montreal Canadiens, especially when Calgary's won the last 4 meetings. Sprinkle on the Calgary Flames today, especially if they go down first. But you guys, I am so happy to have you guys here each and every single day. I appreciate all of you for all of the love, all of the support. I'm so glad that you have joined this show. Hockey is the best. Too bad everything is going great. So I love having you guys here every day. Sorry for the early show today. I got to run out of the house right away. But you guys, all the best in all of your bets. We will be back tomorrow. We got an absolutely loaded day out there on the ice tomorrow. So make sure you come back and join me then. Hit that notification bell over on YouTube and drop below this video what you are liking out there on this 3-game slate tonight. It's going to be a good one, you guys. All the best in all of your bets. I will see you tomorrow.